You know when you get that feeling of deja vu, and you think to yourself, I'm sure I've done this before at some point. I'm sure I have. Oh yeah. It says black, it means you got to recharge it. Well, it's definitely black. Blimey, eh? The battery that this car is on, I mean, the car this battery is on, it don't get used, you see. I charged it up before and it had a bloody good charge. Went up there and started up the car and it was really good. I think it was started up every day for about a week, and then it was left for a week not being started, and now it's completely dead again. Well, it's not completely dead, it's dead enough that it only powers the central lock and it won't actually start it up. And I went there with a jump pack and I started it up, but the battery light was on all the time and the ABS light was on. So this battery, because you know the alternator might still be charging, but if the battery's so dead that the alternator can't kind of pick it up again, then your battery light will stay on. That's a little tip for you lot. Usually when the battery light is on all the time, that means your alternator's had it, or you've got a problem, electrical problem. Your alternator's not putting out any voltage. Bolts come off, or it's no good. But not always. Always test your battery, yeah? Or check the connections on your battery. Because just because the engine's running and the alternator's going round and you might have voltage coming out of it, you might have 13.8 volts or more, 14 odd volts coming out of the alternator, but the battery light's still on, that can mean that your battery's no good, because the battery's got so low voltage, yeah, the alternator can't, it ain't got enough capacity. All an alternator does, yeah, in a car system, recharging system, all it does is it just puts power back into the battery and it powers the car as well. But it puts power into the battery, yeah? So if your battery's a bit dead, it can pick it back up again. It'll take a while, but it'll charge it up again. But if the battery's gone past a certain level, it won't pick it up again, or it might take a very long time, but most times it's easier to take the battery off and just give it a bloody good old charge with a charger. See, what I'll do now, I've got that on setting 1 minimum. I forget how many amps it gives out on that setting now, but I'll wait until that, because if I put that on maximum, that goes over there. If I put it on 2, it goes there, see. So what I'll do is I'll wait until the battery has gone, it's taken a bit of charge, because I want to charge it up relatively quickly. It's not always good to charge batteries up really quick, especially when they're dead. It's good to sort of bring them back up slowly, you know. But I want to get as much charge in this battery as possible, because I'm limited to the amount of time of an evening, you know, because I'll go in at about 9 o'clock, so I won't be on charge for about 3 or 4 hours of an evening. I don't leave it on overnight in case it explodes again. So when this takes a bit of a charge, about an hour, I'll flick it onto number 2, and then that'll charge up a bit quicker. But I forget what the amperage is on it. It's probably in the book, I don't know. I just flick it on and go, away we go. Have you ever really thought, right, I've got to go to a wedding on Saturday, right, and it's got me thinking, right, have you ever really thought about the fact that it doesn't really mean anything anymore, does it? All it is companies nowadays, they're just capitalising on people wanting to be connected to the one person that they most enjoy having sex with, or, you know, failing that, the person they most enjoy spending time with, or something like that. So if you go and buy an ordinary cake, it might cost £4, but if you go and buy a wedding cake, it costs £400. It's crazy, isn't it? Or if you go and buy, you know, just go and buy an ordinary bouquet of flowers, yeah, it might cost you, they're expensive over here in England, so it might cost you about 15 quid. But if you go and buy some flowers for a wedding, it's about £1,000, yeah? It's crazy, and they're only gonna, the minute you say I do and walk down the aisle and all that, about an hour after that, they'll be dead and going in the rubbish. It's crazy, isn't it, eh? Yeah, it's just mad. Being married doesn't mean anything these days anymore, does it, eh? Get you thinking, doesn't it? Oh, well, I think about it anyway. You know, just, do you know what I'm thinking about doing? I might go in the garden now. I might plant a few flowers, and when they've grown, I'll just advertise them as wedding flowers, and I could charge £800 for some flowers. I'll be a millionaire. I don't know why I didn't think of it before. Oh, I think I'm going to do that, yeah. Bloody hell. Done a little bit of fertilising on the old lawn. It's coming on alright, actually. Put the old sprinkler on it. One bit of this stuff left. This is empty one. I've got one that's about quarter full now. I just put some of it on. It's alright, you know. But the stuff you can buy from the shops like this ain't the best, but it does actually work, you know. It does make the lawn much greener and makes it grow. So while I've got this, I'll get it. I think I got this, it's a couple of years old now, this evergreen stuff. Like I said, this is the empty one. I've got another one. I've had it a couple of years. It's meant to last 6 months, I think. Is it 6 months? I think it's 6 months it's meant to last. It says on here somewhere how long it's meant to last. But it's weed and moss killer as well as fertilizer. I think I got it from Amazon because I was looking for some fertilizer, and this came up, and I thought I'd get it. I got 2. I think it's on offer. So yeah, it does work. So I just put some of this on, but you got to water all the fertilizer in, you know, after you put it on, otherwise it'll burn the grass. I mean, they say don't water this in, but you should always water fertilizer in. So I water mine in anyway, and it does the job. So yeah, been doing that while I'm waiting for this bloody battery to charge. Still got. Well, I put it on number 2 now because it went down to about 15 amps, and it's gone back up to 25 thereabouts. So it's charging. It's charging. But you know, I was out there putting all that fertilizer on and doing all that grass, and I'm thinking to myself, because I had some comments on my mate Ryan in that last video where he stood me up again. We was meant to be going out to a bit of an RC sort of morning on Sunday, and I put a bit in the video, didn't I? And some of you lot commented. Some of you didn't like that, did you? You thought it was funny. I thought it was funny and all. But he does that all the time. It's the sort of bloke he is. He just says stuff and never does it. But there's people all over the place, you know. And I was out there and I was thinking about the comments, you know. And I was thinking to myself, it ain't, you know, it ain't just, it's everywhere these days. Everybody seems to just, you know, words don't seem to mean anything anymore. It's just weird. I mean, maybe I'm just thinking old. I mean, I'm not even that old, but, you know, if I say I'm going to be somewhere to do something, I'll be there early to do it. You know, unless something happens, and I'll let you know in advance, as much advance as possible. Just say, oh, I'm not going to do it now. But, you know, if we make a plan to do something, I'll be there. I wouldn't make the plan if I didn't want to do it, sort of thing, you know. But there's plenty of people on the radio as well, you know. But on the radio, you got to be a bit cautious because, you know, radio's radio. You know, you can't talk unless you're on the radio. Yeah, but with a telephone or a text message, you can talk all the time, whether you're there or not. But with a radio, you've got to be, the other person's got to be at the radio for you to be able to talk, you know. But there's people that say, oh, I'll be on that frequency at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. You know, this might be Sunday, but they'll be like, oh, I'll be there 6 o'clock on Wednesday, 6 in the evening on a Wednesday. I'll be there, we'd have another chat. Alright, so I'll get there at 5:30 on the radio, put it on, you know, call out in case he's there early, no one there. And I'll sit there for hours afterwards, I'm thinking, where the bloody hell is he? And the next time I'll speak to this person, this isn't aimed at anyone in particular, but there's people like this, I'm giving you an example. And the next time I'll speak to him, he'll go, oh no, I didn't fancy it, I sat down and watched this film instead. And I'm just like, oh, well you could have come on the radio and said to me, oh, I don't fancy having a chat tonight, I want to watch this film. And I would have been like, alright, no worries. But I sat there for hours waiting for you to come on. It's, you know, I think that the modern day humans are going a bit funny. You know, words don't mean anything, actions don't mean anything. Like I said earlier, being married means nothing. People marry and divorce all the time now. It's ridiculous, you know. And, yeah, you know, there's scamming people all over the place. Real, actual shops will scam you out your money these days. You know, Black Friday. What the bloody hell is Black Friday? Yeah? Black Friday, they put it in your head that time frame on Black Friday is the place to get the deals, and after that you won't get it as cheap as that. But if you go on the internet, I looked on last Black Friday, you can get things the same, cheaper than that on the internet on other places, and also when they have their sale afterwards it's the same anyway. And a lot of you probably don't realise that when shops put sale prices on and they say was $5.99 now $4.99, really, it was never £5.99. Yeah, either that or they put it at £5.99 for a week and then they put it back and then they can actually say it was £5.99, but it weren't. You know, it's crazy. You've got to be careful in this world, my friends. Be very, very careful. You don't think I'm nuts, but you've got to be bloody careful in this world because everything's out to get you. I'm having a bit of a tidy up on the bench now as well. But I'm thinking, do you remember all the people that have come and gone on here over the years? You know, you had that Kari the Gamer chap. I don't know what's the matter with him. He was a bit funny, I think. You know, kept making all them strange videos. Then he just vanished. And then you had Online Capture. He came out. He was a nice old chap. He won one of my competitions. He's gone. God, Will gone. Man, there's so many people come up on YouTube. You know, I've noticed. You know, I watch them and everything. You know, communicate. Think we're gonna be, you know, having some good content coming up, and they all vanish. What's going on? I often think about things like that. You know, I think the trouble is, it's the same with shops. You know, businesses and things. When someone comes up with a new business, like an idea or an invention, most things have already been done. And I think people that are coming up on the YouTube now, I think that Kari the Gamer was one of the prime examples, wanted fame and money only, you know. And that's what people want these days. They just want fame and money. Well, I don't want bloody fame. Oh, well, money would be nice, but I don't want fame. You know, I'm just, as I'm walking around, I'm having a tidy up, and I'm thinking about this. I thought I'd tell you lot. I haven't trimmed the pubic hair, by the way, Mr. Ibazaic. Look. Oh, it's not, it depends what happens. Oh, by the way, have you not noticed the audio quality, eh? I fixed this microphone, at least. The other one I haven't managed to fix yet. I'm going to have to send that one off at some point, because I can't fix it. I don't have expertise. But I think I've fixed this one, so I haven't had any rattling yet. Can you hear the rattling? I can't hear any rattling. I'm well pleased about that. I'm thinking about batteries as well while I'm doing this. While I'm waiting, while I'm waiting for this one to charge, I'm thinking about batteries, right? And some of you lot out there seem to think that it's the cold weather what kills batteries. I can tell you it's not. And also the myth about putting it on a concrete floor is a myth, right? Batteries, they're killed by heat. Car batteries are. Most batteries are killed by heat, alright? The heat is no good for the batteries. It ruins all the chemical, you know, reactions and things inside the battery. The cold weather, the reason why your battery might seem as if, like, we'll talk specifically about car batteries for this example, right? The reason why it might seem like the battery is affected by the cold weather in the winter is because during the summer, when the batteries got hotter, that's when it's encountered the damage, alright? So in the winter, when your engine is colder and your oil is thicker and it needs that little bit of extra cranking amperage power as well to get it to crank over, the battery doesn't quite have it because it's got hot during the summer and maybe a few summers, and it's made it weak. That's just putting it in plain terms for you, yeah? So it's not the cold. When you think, oh, this cold weather's killed my battery, you don't want to start anymore, you don't have enough power to start my engine anymore. It's not the cold weather. You just notice it in the cold because that's when you need the extra battery power to turn your engine over, so you notice it then. But really, it's incurred the damage in the summer if it got hot. That's why a lot of, I don't know why car companies, when they make cars, they put them under the bonnet, but they've done for years, and yeah, it works, okay? But a lot of car companies, they do put like a shield, a plastic shield. Some of them, even the more expensive cars, I know BMWs have them in the boot for this reason, probably for this reason, I would have thought it's one of the reasons anyway. But a lot of more expensive car manufacturers actually put your battery in like a box with, some of them even have insulating, yeah, some do, some don't. But you always be in a box away from the hot part of the engine, usually on the right or the left, but away, or sometimes at the front, but away from the hot part of the engine, because you need to try and keep the heat away from it. And as far as putting it on a concrete floor goes, no, putting a battery on a concrete floor does not discharge it in any way whatsoever. Alright, it doesn't make a difference, because when you think about it, the battery is on a metal surface in the car anyway. Putting it on concrete doesn't conduct, and even if it did, the battery is in a plastic case which is non-conductive, because if the battery contents, yeah, was all the acid and the cells and everything was in a case what was conductive, it would be pointless, because it would be catching everything on fire and everyone would be getting electric shocks all the time. So you can put a battery on a concrete surface for as long as you like, it doesn't matter, as long as the surface isn't hot, because like I said, the heat will rise up into it and that will kill your battery. Alright, there's much more scientific, much more scientificness, or whatever you want to call it, into it, and there's all you can go into it in depth. But as far as the myth goes, putting on concrete, no. And just for your information, if some of you may want to know, it's not the winter that kills the battery, it's the summer, yeah, or any kind of heat that it might endure. Heat kills the battery. Well, anyway, that's going to be that for this video. I was going to add some more to this video, but I've decided I'm going to do an actual a whole video precisely on this subject, and that's antenna installation, about antennas and things, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to add I'm going to go for the whole step of it. I'm going to drill some holes in the walls to get the coax through, and I'm just going to upgrade my antenna system here for radio, basically, obviously. And so some of you liked when I showed the 40-meter wire. Now that was just temporary, just as an experiment, and I've had many contacts on that since. I've got all the contest stations all around Europe, and some of them are in America. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a better installation of that 40-meter wire, but I'm also going to modify it to make it so it's multi-band, so it will do 160 meters all the way down to 10 meters. So we're the whole subject on that, the whole video will be on that subject. So that's what that's going to be all about. So thanks for being around, thanks for being here, and I'll catch you on the next one there, dudes. I know it's a bit topsy-turvy, but things are what they are, I'm afraid. I want to go and do some more abandoned videos soon. That's what I'm going to be doing, a bit more abandoned. So I think I've fixed the old microphone. Don't know if it's making any noise now, see? It might make a bit of scratching noises, but as I wiggle it around, shouldn't be that knocking sound that we used to get when I was walking. So anyway, catch you later, dudes. Thanks for being here. Take care. Just be happy and just love it.